You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mo Kelly, YouTube, Instagram, iHeartRadio app. We are live. And I don't know where you live, but I know if you live by me or if you live by Stefan. I can't speak for Tuwala and Mark. But the 4th of July holiday, I didn't say Memorial Day weekend. I said the 4th of July holiday started 3-4 weeks ago. It may be even longer, like in April, late March. Am I lying? They started with the illegal fireworks late March, early April, and it's the same every year. They'll starts off small, and it gets to be a veritable party after a certain point. We're at the party. So the 4th of July holiday has already begun.
Yeah, I feel bad because I get home around 11 and I'll just be getting into my house and it's just boom.
Yes.
And I'm like, there's probably kids trying to sleep, getting ready for school the next day, and parents getting ready, and they got to deal with that. It's like, that sucks.
It's the middle of the week. It's not even the weekend. It's the middle of the week.
That's what's even worse. Yeah, it'd be like a Tuesday or Wednesday.
I say that because when it's reported that authorities in LA County seized more than 100,000 pounds of illegal fireworks today, I would say maybe 35,000 of those pounds were from my neighborhood. Okay, maybe 34,000.
No. You had it right the first time. I can believe that.
You've been every single year. So
I've heard the ordinance. I've seen the ordinance. It's not fireworks. It's ordinance.
It is tantamount. Not that I've been in a war zone, but it's from what I've seen on TV and in movies, it is consistent with that. It is an assault on your senses. And I understand why veterans can be unnerved by fireworks, especially in my neighborhood.
That's the irony, It's like they're celebrating what they gave us, but you're
re-traumatizing.
PTSD.
Yeah. More than 100,000 pounds. In other words, 50 tons of illegal fireworks were seized today. And this is according to CAL FIRE. The Office of the State Fire Marshal conducted the seizure in the city of Commerce, where it responded to reports that a fireworks importer and exporter weren't following the requirements of a licensee despite being a licensed vendor. You mean someone's selling illegal fireworks? No. You're saying that a legal vendor of fireworks is selling illegal fireworks? No. Oh, word? Who would have ever thunk it? Who would have thought that someone would have sold illegal fireworks? They do it all year long. It's ever present. In fact, after the 4th of July holiday, you think they would have spent all their money, used all their fireworks on the 4th of July? Can't speak for your neighborhood, Tuwala, but in my neighborhood, it's going on until August. And it's almost like, you haven't run out yet?
Yeah.
They don't ever run out of fireworks. It's almost like they're just waiting. Okay, school is back for September. Maybe we can call them with, quit with the fireworks.
That's where the drone situation would be great, because they could actually catch the ones that are doing the really, really, really illegal ones.
But I don't think they've ever tried to catch the people. I'm being serious, because every single year, you haven't been to my house, but Tuwala, you see my house. There are professional grade fireworks shows in a 360 panoramic view around my house, and every single one of them is illegal, and nobody's getting arrested. Nobody.
There's too many. It's ridiculous.
But it's not a question.
Yeah, you
but going back
can't.
to the drone conversation, it's not a question of where they are. I can point. I can tell you that's so and so's house. It's not a secret. It's all out in the open.
Yeah, if you drive down the 110 on July 4th,
oh, isn't it great?
It is a crazy
Swallow, when you're
show.
going home?
No, when I'm going home on both sides of the freeway and on the overpasses.
Yes,
it's insane. But it is also really, really cool to see.
Oh, it is. I just know that someone's going to get hurt. That's all.
I remember when we were walking back to our car last year, some folks that were right there on the main street. They lit off some bomb in the middle of the street, and it was so impactful that car alarms on both sides of the street started going off. That's how much the impact was. It just shook cars and did that. I'm like, that's a bomb. That's not a firework.
Pets love that, by the way.
Well, my pets are immune to it. And I've actually put up videos. Don't ask me why. They have no problem. They don't in any way react. In other words, they're not even scared to go outside. They just go outside. It's almost like they do not hear it or react at all.
That's
they do not
crazy.
care. It's amazing to me, and it's not like I try to subject them to it to get them used to it, but they just don't care. They don't care. They go about their day. They don't react. They don't flinch. They don't cower. Nothing.
I flinch. In fact, the people who set off these fireworks, those are the ones who should be renditioned and taken to those hell jails in El Salvador and Libya. Get rid of those people.
But did you hear in the story that I was talking about? They basically fined these people. Mm-hmm. The fireworks importer and exporter weren't following the law, and they weren't necessarily selling legal fireworks, but it doesn't say anybody was arrested. It doesn't say that they seized the illegal fireworks, but they didn't say they were also charged with felonies for X, Y, and Z.
Put them on a Cool Hand Luke chain gang. I want them gone.
Look, I would too, but it goes back to what I was saying. I mean, yeah, so what? You confiscated the fireworks, but they're just gonna buy more.
It's like the speed camera charge.
Yeah, right. If you're just going to fine them, there's really nothing that's going to serve as a deterrent. You're not going to prevent them from doing this. Like, okay, they stole my last stash, but since they're not actually arresting someone, since they're not actually putting people in prison for this, which I could think is probably some sort of federal law because it's probably being imported from Mexico. Probably.
No. It's actually, and I remember we talked about this last year. Most of the illegal fireworks that we're getting are coming from Nevada, where fireworks are legal. And so, because remember, we talked about that California was trying to come up with some type of agreement with Nevada to increase fines for crossing borders with illegal fireworks and people from California.
But that makes it federal as well. I'm just saying, if you cross state lines and commit a crime, that's federal in nature. But again, if you're just fining people, whether it's coming from Nevada, whether it's coming from Mexico, it doesn't make any difference because when I go home tonight, I will hear a bunch of illegal fireworks and nothing will matter. Nothing is going to change.
Oh, no, I'm sure if you walk out there in your bathrobe and remind them, hey, that's not legal here, they'll stop right away.
Yeah, just like road rage. Yes, if I give someone the runner, that's going to make them change their behavior.
Well, that's at your discretion.
Maybe I just throw an egg at them.
No, in most neighborhood, the individuals, and I've seen these individuals that are lighting up these illegal Santa Monica Pier, Rose Bowl level fireworks shows, straight out of downtown Disney, fireworks shows. Mm-hmm. These are also individuals that are heavily gang related. Okay. These are individuals who are also firing off firearms.
So this is a do not approach situation.
Oh, by no means. By no means.
You leave them alone. You leave them alone.
I was going to say, Mo, because I'm sure you see it too. I laugh every year when they put up those not cautionary, but those warning signs.
The construction signs.
Yeah, construction signs.
Yeah, that say, block off the street.
That say, you can only do fireworks till 11 p.m. Meanwhile, it's 3 a.m.
Right.
And they're still going. I'm like, oh, yeah, that'll work.
There's an old saying, and it goes like this. Who gonna check me, boo? Who's going to tell the gang member next to my house that he has to stop setting off fireworks, illegal fireworks, at 11 p.m.?
This is where Marvel should do a Punisher story where he just goes around a neighborhood and takes people out who are doing fireworks, disturbing everybody.
Yeah, but you do know that the Punisher doesn't have great aim or care for the general public. He'll just shoot up the whole block.
What, like he's an Imperial stormtrooper? Yeah, he can't hit anything?
Right. I don't know. He can hit stuff, but I'm just saying he's not surgical.
This isn't satisfying the least bit.
I'm just saying, look, if you actually come to my 4th of July soiree at Chateau Les Mots, you'll get to see it firsthand.
Well, now I'm afraid to.
Oh, it is a massively fun time.
Yeah. It's a spectacle, though.
Big fun.
Except for the risk of getting shot by a gang member for asking them to please tone down.
You don't have to approach them. Now, a bullet may fall out of the sky from them shooting up in the air. That is a risk. But
how could I resist?
It's just like getting struck by lightning. If it happens, it's just meant to be you.
It's just God's will.
He dies. Yeah, that's right. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly here. Live on YouTube, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app. And I'm quite sure the chat is off the chain in Motown on the YouTube chat. Can't speak for the Instagram chat, but I know you guys like to get it cracking up in there. Just keep it somewhat respectful, please. You may remember, or maybe you don't remember, some months ago we talk about cruises a lot. I don't know if there's any show who's more pro cruise than this one. I've been on 6 or 7 cruises. I recruited Tuwala to go on a cruise. Now he's a cruise advocate. We're working on Mark Runner. Probably not ever going to happen.
I'm pro norovirus. Does that count?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But the point is, we're very pro cruise and the cruising experience, and we try to pass along our wisdom to you. We talked about a story which detailed what supposedly happens when someone dies on a cruise. And the giveaway, and I don't want to say dead giveaway, but the giveaway is if you're on a cruise and everyone gets ice cream, that usually is an indicator that someone died. The reason being, let's say if you're on a longer cruise and you maybe you have 2 or 3 days at sea, you're not in port. If someone dies, you have to put the body somewhere. Usually it's in the freezer. To make room, they move out some of the perishables in the freezer, and usually it's ice cream. So as the tale goes, if there's like a ship-wide ice cream party, that's usually an indicator that somebody died on the ship. With that in mind, when I tell you about a 19-day cruise, in other words, you have some sea days out there where you're not in port, a 19-day cruise, and the captain died in the middle of the cruise, a lot of questions come to mind. A lot. And it's not like the captain dying on an airplane. It's not like you have to worry about the ship running aground or going to hit some rocks. It's not like that. You have plenty of competent people who can manage the ship in an emergency situation. But it does call into question, almost begs the question, Mark. It calls into question when and how is that information communicated to the passengers on the cruise ship?
That raises the question.
I think it begs it.
No.
It begs and it calls into question.
Can it pardon the question? Look, the fact that this captain died and ice cream was immediately distributed, that is when they let the passengers know.
This is my thing. It's like, doesn't that kind of like put a damper on the captain's dinner? It's like turns it into a wake.
No, it's free ice cream for everybody.
You never saw that in the Love Boat, I'll tell you.
Well, the Captain Stubing never died.
No, they really missed an opportunity with that. But ice cream makes everything better.
Yes.
You ever read, what's that book? In Cold Blood? One of the killer's moms, after they're executed, goes to eat and she's sitting there pouting. The waitress gives her an extra scoop for free and everything's better.
This is a part of Princess Cruises, and I've never been on Princess Cruises, but I can imagine that it would be a damper and a downer for the cruise, for the rest of the cruise. It's a 19-day cruise, and in fact, this cruise is still going on. They're not going to finish. They're not going to come back home until May 25th.
Right.
So we're talking like Sunday they get back in port. This is what the release was. Quote, "It is with profound sadness that we share the news of the passing of Captain Michel Bartholomew, who had a sudden medical emergency and died on board Diamond Princess. Captain Bartholomew was a respected leader whose decades of service at sea exemplified professionalism, dedication, and care for both guests and crew." And it goes on and on. But the point is, they did announce to all the cruisers that the captain had left the ship, in so many words.
All right, Mo, this raises but does not beg another question, which is I just got finished watching all 5 seasons or 4 or 5 seasons of Black Sails. When a captain dies on a cruise ship, do they got to wrap him in the canvas and slide him overboard?
No, they put him in the freezer. That's the whole point.
Oh, he just stays there.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
You
burial
stay
at
in the
sea.
freezer.
No. They don't bury him. No.
Oh, that is such a ripoff.
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
the whole
do that
point
anymore.
of clearing space in the freezer, because it turns into a morgue.
Well, I thought it might have just been temporary, and then he gets his send off like a true seaman.
No, that probably would be illegal.
You can't
just
dump
dispose of
bodies in the
a
water.
body in
It's
the
gonna
ocean.
it's gonna wash up somewhere.
Somewhere
It's gonna wash up.
some pirates might take issue with this.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also you have to discern whether after the medical examiner examines the body, cause of death. You just can't have, the captain just up and died, and so we just threw him overboard. Be somewhat suspicious.
All these regulations and red tape, too much on the high seas.
Actually, really, really cool is if in their press release or announcement to the staff or to the cruisers, they would say something to the effect of, "We have lost dear Captain Bartholomew," or whatever his name was. And Captain Bartholomew was a huge fan of ice cream. And as a result, everyone is getting free ice cream as the captain's last wish. They could play it off. They could have easily spun that.
Yeah, don't think of it as death ice cream.
Anytime you're on vacation and there is a death, it kind of ruins the vacation. If you're on a plane and someone dies on the plane, it's not a good sign. If you're on the ship and someone dies on the ship, not even saying the captain, just anyone, that's going to make it a much worse experience. And it's like, why did they cancel the captain's dinner? If you don't know, if you go on a cruise, every cruise, there is a captain's dinner. Depending on how long the cruise is, it changes which night. It could be the second night or the middle of the cruise, whatever. That's when you dress up and you get to meet the captain. The captain goes around all the tables and greets everyone.
So the good news is that everybody gets ice cream. The bad news is that the captain's the same temperature.
It's a captain sickle.
Yeah.
KFI AM 640, YouTube and Instagram. And Daniel loved the hell out of that joke because I could hear him from down the hall laughing.
Oh, my God.
We're live on Instagram, YouTube, and the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mr. Mo Kelly, he warns us all. Says autonomous vehicles might be our downfall. But then Tuwala comes on and claims it's all under control. He says Mo Kelly is wrong, but Mo thinks he's on the payroll of Waymo. Cause Waymo be bad, run you over. Waymo be bad, run over ground. Waymo be bad, run you over. Waymo be bad. The end of us all.
All right, Tuwala. All right, Tuwala. All right, Tuwala. I'm going to play some audio, and then I'm going to give you the floor, okay? I'm just going to play some audio,
Okay.
and the floor is yours. And I'm not going to like this at all.
Hey, John, so Waymo has just surpassed 10 million fully driverless rides. That doubles its lifetime total in just the last 5 months. The Alphabet unit hit 5 million rides at the end of last year in total. And now that trajectory is set to accelerate as it expands into new cities like Atlanta and Miami. This is a major milestone for the robotaxi race. It's also a direct challenge to Tesla ahead of its own autonomy push. I just sat down exclusively with Waymo's co-CEO, Takidra Mawakana.
What was her name?
Co-CEO Takidra Mawakana.
What? Wait a minute. What was her name?
Somebody's getting taquitos.
Takidra Mawakana.
Say that 5 times fast. I don't know if it's a Japanese name. What?
Takidra Mawakana, who said
Takidra
that every trip at the scale
Mawakana.
That
is
almost sounds maybe Hawaiian.
It could be, but it's Takidra Mawakana. So I want to make sure.
Takidra Mawakana, who said that every trip at the scale is accelerating the rate at which the driver is learning. Now, Elon Musk, of course, you guys all just heard it, just slammed Waymo.
Now, this is very important, actually, where they make a distinction between what Elon Musk is trying to do versus what Waymo is trying to do. And in it, you will see not only the future of autonomous vehicles, but also the future of our society. Very important to listen to this.
Of course, you guys all just heard it, just slammed Waymo's approach, calling it unnecessarily complicated, that multiple sensors like LiDAR create more confusion, not less. But Mamokana pushed back on that in our interview, saying that their goal isn't just to assist the driver, it's to replace them entirely.
Replace the driver entirely. Okay? That's beyond just, ride sharing, giving people rides from here to the airport. That's about the ending Uber as we know it.
Yeah.
Ending Lyft as we know it. Completely replacing the
bus
the
drivers.
Yes, truck
drivers, all of that. Yes.
Okay, the floor is yours, Tuala. Go ahead and gloat.
I just find it interesting that less than a week after you tried to malign and besmirch the name of Waymo, we have this factual, contextual data that shows not just its growth here in Southern California, but its growth into huge markets across this country. Even in San Francisco, where the most resistance was being mounted, they just were granted a humongous expansion throughout San Francisco into the Bay Area. Waymo is the way to go. I just need everyone
Did you think of
to
that
understand
just now?
that. Just right now.
Are you trying to rhyme Jesse Jackson?
Just right now, off the top. I understand that last week, our very own Tiffany Hobbs tried to claim that Waymo dropped her off in Crime Alley and, her mother's pearls were almost stolen in some type of Batman shootout. I get that. But she's fine. She's here today. I'm saying all of this leads to one thing, that Waymo is the future. And Foosh, I love you, my brother from another mother. But within a year or two, there will be no Foosh taking off on weekends or days where he needs a break to go and do some Ubering. It's not going to happen, because Uber will have partnered with Waymo or at least even Elon Musk for driverless technology. Why? Because why have to worry about someone unionizing or complaining about rates and insurance and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, the robots don't do any of that.
Oh, you said rates. I thought you said rape. I'm being serious.
No,
you don't have to worry about the driver issues as well.
You don't have to worry about the driver issues at all. There's no driver. There's no time off. There's no, I have to have, my, what are they? The bonus areas. You don't have to have any of that. It's just the car.
The surge pricing.
The surge pricing. All that's done 24 hours. And this is something that we've already seen is expanding into mass transit, into buses, into trucks, into all of that. We are on the precipice of having this self-driving technology here for us. It's no longer in the future. It is now. And Waymo, as you see in this, is leading the way.
Does Tuala have a new wardrobe
now?
Today at all? Any new?
No, I do not.
No,
I do not.
Okay.
Can we go to commercial now?
There's no need to go to commercial. Is it a Waymo commercial?
Can we talk about something else now? I gave you the floor. All right.
Fancy new shoes. Maybe.
Now you just want to gloat. You want to rub it in. I thought much higher of you, Tuala. I didn't think you would stoop so low.
Oh, I'm stooping. I'm stupid. I've been waiting for this stoop because I knew it was coming. You will be adopting this sooner than later.
Stooping, bending. What's the difference?
You almost made me cuss.
No, they're not.
I almost cussed at you so loud. It was about to be a verbal run.
Wait a minute. We didn't bring it up. I looked up a picture of the Waymo CEO. Look up a picture of her. It is clear why Tuala's all in on Waymo.
Oh, let's check this out right now.
Oh, yeah.
Waymo CEO?
Yeah.
Her being a
Fine.
very attractive woman has nothing to do.
She's not going to date
has
you,
nothing
Tuala.
to do with my passion for the future of driverless technology. Nothing to do with it.
No, I'm sure you didn't even notice.
She's not a robo woman. She's all woman.
Now, can we go to commercial?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube and Instagram.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI KFI, YouTube, Instagram. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere, and we're going to be live all the way until 10 p.m. Last segment, we're having some fun, as we always do, talking about Waymo and how, if anything, they've turned the corner. I know, another pun, as far as public perception of the company, with more than 10 million, rides or whatever that they've given, and they've further expanded into major markets. We had fun with it, but here's the serious component to the conversation. When we talk about Waymo and its growing popularity, you have to know that it doesn't only end with the rideshare business. It's going to end trucking as we know it. It is going to end delivery as we know it. It's going to fundamentally change our society. The whole idea of autonomous vehicles. It's going to change car ownership. Don't you know that we're only one step away from personal, fully autonomous vehicle ownership? We're not talking about rideshare. We're talking about your own vehicle in the way that, like you would see in the movies or cartoons, where you get in the car and it just drives you wherever. The whole concept of driving, maybe, and this is just a rough estimate, let's say 10 years from being obsolete, where we would not drive anywhere. When we talk about the EVs of the future, no, it's going to be a driverless future. I just don't know when it's going to get here, but they'll eventually get the technology to a point where everyone will start adopting it. And this goes back to our other conversation talking about a universal basic income. There just won't be enough jobs for everyone. We talk about you should learn this trade. You don't need to go to college. College is a scam. They're just jobs that won't exist anymore. How many welding jobs have disappeared on automotive assembly lines because of automation?
Yeah. How many jobs, period? I know that there's this big push to bring check stands back into place and have, cashiers and stuff like that. That's not really going to come back. The moment that you get the security and all of that in place with self-checkout, stores will be done with cashiers. They'll be done with all of that. They are already working steadily. Hilton, some of the major hotel chains within this country are working on AI concierge and all of that. This is where we're going. Doctors' offices are working at eliminating their receptionists and their assistants and all that with AI programs that can answer all of your questions.
I got one step better as far as my contemporary use of AI. The other week, I was going out to a restaurant, me and my wife. I had my phone and its AI set up the reservation for me. Call the restaurant, make the reservation. Originally, when my phone called the restaurant, the place was closed. It sent me a message saying, we will call back when they open. It called back when it's open, made the reservation, and put it on my calendar for me. I didn't have to do anything except tell my wife when to get in the car.
And you're telling me that there isn't going to come a point, and I say this in all seriousness, that we are living in a world similar to Demolition Man, where you just have a society that is relatively free of human interaction and doing anything. And you will have to have a sub-society which is surviving on a mandated regulatory basic income. Get yourself some food.
People hate hearing that, Twala.
Get your lights on and things like that.
That's like living off the government.
If there's going to be no other way. Amazon has now robots going back and forth in those factories, taking boxes off the shelf, drones, and putting them on cars.
Well, when I was talking about driving downtown earlier today, when I got the runner from this Tesla owner, I meant to also say that I drove by at least 2 or 3 delivery bots, obviously delivering food or something, and they're everywhere downtown.
Oh yeah, they're all over downtown LA.
And they're like these little toys almost. Like you could just kick them over, but that is our society future. Embracing the technology and its applications, which extend far beyond what we may presently think.
And to Walla's point, I mean, I almost feel like we're a little bit behind, because remember there's that video, I have it loaded if you guys want to hear it again, about that Google AI that made the reservation.
Yeah.
And it has the inflection of a human being.
And that was 7-8 years ago.
Was almost 10 years ago.
10 years. Do you have it handy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's play it if you got it, if it's handy. This is about 10 years ago.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second.
That's the AI with the
Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
2015, we can assume the quote-unquote executive assistant job that we all were familiar with. We either were one or we had someone working for me in that capacity. Those jobs are gone.
Yeah, you were right. It was 8 years ago.
8 years. But still, okay, yeah. That's where all this is going. When we talk about universal basic income, because politically it is not a popular idea, but realistically it is coming, because we always talk about, well, unemployment is going up. Well, there are fewer jobs. There are literally fewer positions available that need people. And going back to what Mark Ronner has always argued, and I've talked about with him, corporate greed is about diminishing expenses. If they can do the job without you and not have to worry about your payroll, your vacation, your lawsuits, they're going to get rid of you.
I actually forgot all about this. 3 weeks ago, it was revealed through the Independent and various websites that in Australia, there is a radio station that secretly replaced its afternoon host with an AI host. And they did this for 6 months.
Hey, keep that quiet.
Before they revealed that it was AI, and listeners were shocked. They had literally no idea that the host was not there, that the host just lended her voice to this AI program.
Basically, Max Headroom.
Basically, I know it's a scary thing to hear for us in this room, but this was going on in 6 months as a beta test.
We're all eminently replaceable. And I'm not talking about just radio. I'm talking about whatever job that you're doing right now. If they haven't figured out technology to replace you, just keep on living. They'll eventually get around to you. KFI AM 640, YouTube, Instagram, and the iHeartRadio app.
News without the skew.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live